Hello, my name is Mr. Milner. I'm the STEM guy, and welcome to 5th grade science. This is a COVID year. Things are going to be different for you, whether you're in class face-to-face or virtual at home, or a combination of both. Pretty much all of you are going to be virtual. You're going to be delivered your science lessons by way of Google Classroom. Whether or not you're in school or not. And so because of that, we've had to change some of the ways that we do science for 5th grade this year. Some of you will remember last year. I'll hold this up so you can see it. You remember all the handouts and the cutouts and the cool science notebook. Basically, you built your own book. I'm just amazed at the work that you all did and the handouts that we did, that we colored together and studied, and the drawings and all sorts of things, the title pages. We just cannot do that this semester. Now, if we go back to in-person learning back at school, maybe second semester, then we'll get back to normal. But so for now, I'm going to show you the approach that we're going to take and how you're going to do science, whether you're here at school or at home on your computer. Again, you will be delivered your lessons to your science Google Classroom, and we'll send those out to you. You'll have them, and we'll send you a lesson plan, a digital lesson plan, and you can follow that and pace yourself, usually a couple of weeks of work at a time. Maybe about 10 or 20 minutes a day, if that much. Some days you might have a video to watch, perhaps take some notes on, and we try to do some fun things in there for you. But you're not going to need any of these things that you would have needed last year, and scissors and everything. We're not going to send home a stack of papers for you to cut up. We just can't do that, at least at this point. Having said that, you may still want to use these, and I'll show you how you could do that in a moment. So rather than the big 5-subject notebook like this, I'm going to ask that you just get and this is in your materials list, a single subject spiral bound notebook, and this will do just fine. And so here's the process. You will get a slides, which is a PowerPoint, and then you'll have sort of a pacing in that PowerPoint, or it'll be in a separate document, and you'll know how many slides or which slides to watch and to read on any particular day, maybe 1 or 2, 3 slides a day over a 2-week period. And then you'll be taking notes on that slide or slides, and the notes might be just notes that you're making. Like this, like what I've written right here. Just some very simple notes. We're not super worried about neatness here, because you're going to take that and you're going to put together your own PowerPoint for vocabulary terms and illustrations. We're going to ask you to illustrate them digitally by pulling graphic images over, and so on. Now, in your PowerPoint slides that we're going to give to you, that will be your lessons, there will be instructions on the top, and it'll tell you to write down with pen or pencil, actually write down in your notes whatever is highlighted. Maybe you want to write more than that. I didn't highlight everything. Some pages will have everything highlighted, and so don't let that bother you. But then you'll take your notes when you're done with your lesson, and you'll convert the notes into your own PowerPoint. Now, this first semester, you will only have one PowerPoint to keep track of, and you will find that, of course, in your Google Classroom. I'll actually produce one for the whole class with examples, and then you'll work from there. Now, you and I, we need to talk about note-taking for just a moment. I need to talk to you about the Q&A, or question and answer format for taking notes. And you'll find that in the PowerPoint, the notes, like on the top of a note page, it'll have a question. And then the answers will be on that slide and maybe on the next slide after that. And so you learned this method perhaps last year in 4th grade, And now you're in 5th grade science, and we're going to have a lot more things for you to write, for you to study. We have a lot to learn this year. And so the first 2 weeks that you're going to have science, you're going to do the scientific method. Now, you did the scientific method last year, but in 4th grade it was much simpler. And now we're going to look at it in much more detail. And so I'm just going to hold this up here and show you what your note-taking page would look like in your notebook, okay? And I'm also going to show some examples of this closer up at the end of the video. And so here you have the line here and the line here. It's almost kind of like a T. You have a Q and an A for question and answer. And so after you get through the introductory slides that tell you how to do your slides, and it will remind you about the highlighted notes at the top of each page telling you, like some page will say you don't have to write anything on this slide, which is really nice. It's a nice break. But most of them you'll have to write some things. So right here, you have a Q and an A. You don't need to write the word question, just the Q and A. You don't have to write the word answer and the line. And so the first question is, what is science? And here's the answer over here. And that will be on that slide, and you'll see it. We've highlighted it. And then you'll find another question. How is science done? And then you'll write the answer there. Okay? And then if I turn the page, I think a couple of slides later, it says, what are the steps of the scientific method? And there's a question, and here's the answer over here. There's several steps. Now you're going to find in the scientific method some textbooks, some videos. Different teachers will present a 4-step method, a 5-step method, and even a 6-step method. Don't worry about that. They're just combining a few things. We're going to show you, I think, a 4-step and a 6-step method. Here's 5 steps right here, okay? So here they are. And then on all these other pages, the following pages, it's going to go step by step and explain each of these. Now, when it comes time for you to finish your notes, some of you just like to color and draw. Maybe you want to get the crayons or the colored pencils out. Maybe you want to illustrate. But it's really not necessary, because you're going to take your notes when you're done with your lesson, and you're going to go to your own PowerPoint, which we've started for you, and you're going to type in your question and answer like this. And probably not be able to do the T format. Some of you can figure that out, some of you can't. That's fine. You can just type it almost like a document within that thing. And we'll give you some examples, okay? So that's all we've got for now. Just a reminder, lots of reminders today in this first introductory video, but we're sort of trying to train you and get you ready for taking notes. We do want you to write notes, and I want to remind you that when you go live with me during your time with science, I may ask you to hold up your notebook. And that will be this notebook. It doesn't have to be red. It can be your own choice of colors. I'll ask you to show me the notes that you're writing. I will be able to look at your PowerPoints at any time that I want to. At the end of the videos and throughout the videos, there will be links to quizzes, Q-U-I-Z-I-Z-Z. Those are just for fun and review. There will be links to videos to help you visualize some things. And then at the end of the slideshow, there will be a reminder that the next step after you review will be a test. It'll be posted to your Science Google Classroom. And a reminder also that you are not to cheat, you are not to have your notes open while you take the test. And so be very careful about that. And then you will submit your test on Google Classroom or in your classroom, and it'll automatically tell you what questions, if any, that you missed or got wrong. And then you'll go back to your own PowerPoint, you'll type in the question and then the correct answer that it gives you. And that'll help you review and help you know what you missed, and then you can go back in your notes and see where you messed up. Okay, maybe you don't miss any, fantastic. Every now and then we'll be posting some videos from our new science lab. We'll do some experiments with you. Maybe we'll do live sessions. It's going to be a really neat semester. Just a little bit different because we're not doing the full notebook with all the cutouts, and we're making it sort of self-driven. So you're responsible for your side of it, and I'll push the notes and everything out, the PowerPoints and the test at the end, and everything out to you in your Google Classroom. Please check your Science Google Classroom every day, maybe sometimes twice a day, and make sure there's no announcements or things for you to do there. Okay, also want to say something about make sure you're wearing a mask when proper, do your social distancing. We have this nice little lanyard right here, kind of keeps it right here, kind of hard to eat with a mask on. Make sure you're washing your hands. A good way to wash your hands is to sing happy birthday to yourself. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me. They say 15 to 20 seconds, hand washing, warm water and soap will take care of just about every kind of pathogen or germ or bug that's on your hands. You can also, of course, use alcohol-based hand cleaners as well, but soap and water does a great job too. This is here to protect me from if I have to sneeze or cough, it could still come through this. I still want to sneeze or cough into my shirt here. If I touch contact surfaces, I want to wash my hands. No contact with other people, no shaking hands, and keep your 6-foot distance. And that'll do a lot to shut this COVID thing down so that we can get back to school. Hey, I'm going to say goodbye for now. This is Mr. Milner, the STEM guy. Some of the videos that I share with you will go to my science channel. It's a safe channel for kids. There's no advertising. There's no video links on the side. It's just my videos like this one. And it's totally safe. Please be very careful on YouTube. It can be a very dangerous place. Guard your eyes for what you see. And also share with your mom and dad what you're learning here at school. Show them what you're doing. Show them your PowerPoints and get them involved in your learning process. We're your teachers. We're easy to reach, and you should now, parents should be tied into us by texting, by emailing, and by Class Dojo. You can always send me or your teachers an email through your Google Classroom, and we'll be as quick as we can to reply to those. Before I say goodbye, at the end of this video, after I say goodbye, there will be some extra examples. I'll do some close-ups. And so this has been Mr. Milner, the STEM guy. Good to have you on board today, and we'll see you in your classroom. Have a good day. All right, here is an example of the Q&A or question and answer format. The question goes on the left, what is science? The answer goes on the right, and it's connected to the next slide that I'll show you. You see this slide, it says, what is science? The answers are down below. Do you notice how that the statement above at the top of the screen says write the highlighted statements in your science notebook? If you see something highlighted, you need to write that down. Maybe you want to write all of it, that's fine too. But you want to make sure you're writing the question and the answer. The question and the answer, and then pay attention to the information at the top of each slide. And I hope that helps, and we'll see you in class.